Hey yo, I'm Eric Curry III.
I'm Tiny.
I'm Python.
I'm Talia.
And we will be your host for this season of Young, Gifted, and Black Through Our Eyes. Now, see, this season will be a little bit different than the other seasons. This season is all about reimagining creative, safe spaces by the community, for the community.
It's all about youth like us and young creatives and what we need.
Authentic representation.
And how we really feel.
All right, then let's get straight to it then. Come on.
I'm with Wartime, he just went and put me on.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl D and Lang. We are the Poor Girls, and you're watching Young, Gifted, and Black Through Our Eyes. Imagine us. Imagine us. Imagine you. Imagine me. Imagine a community where we are creating safe spaces for our young people. Let's go. Period. It's a campaign.
Well, guys, what comes to mind when y'all think of creative safe spaces?
Bedroom office. I'm sorry, it's just a safe place.
In
No
the
one
dark?
can intrude.
Will you be in the dark?
Yes, on the dark, all the time, all the time.
With your little TV tent on.
Yeah, what's on my TV tent? It's not low light. Like, it's not. I'm sitting in pitch
But that's
dark.
just weird that it's like 2 o'clock p.m. and you in the pitch black.
Okay, but I've been sleeping all day. Why not consider that? Why not continue that? You know?
What about you, Anaya?
I'll definitely say anytime, but it's just me time when I get time to like think when you're like on your own. I say that's like one of the best spaces for like creative.
I'll say anytime where it's raining. Little quick story. I was on a cruise and it was like a thunderstorm going on. Like it was a whole storm. But I got so much done while I was outside. Like I was writing. I was like on my computer. Like I was really doing stuff.
In the rain?
In the whole rain. I like the rhythm of the rain. The rain got a little rhythm to it, so it's dope.
Rhythm Nation. Get into it.
How about you?
My creative safe space is anywhere I go. Whether it's my auntie's living room or my grandmama's bedroom. It's anywhere I go, anywhere there's music or where I can write. Anywhere I can get out.
Gotcha.
Some of my feelings,
Gotcha.
So basically, you are the safe place.
That's deep. That's deep. Are we applauding that? Are we applauding
Thank
that?
you.
Hold on, we snapping that? Because it's deep. It's like jazz. Yeah.
We're definitely snapping. Creative safe space is boundless. There is no specific destination that one has to be in order to experience the ultimate creativity. What you think, Lang?
A creative safe space is a open space where I set the tone. I am whatever I say I am and wherever I choose to be.
How do like creative safe spaces like look and feel to us? Like what do they look like?
I say look like when I'm around a whole bunch of, I don't want to say like-minded people because I hate being around people that like think exactly like me because that's just boring. But people who are creative and people who have the same creative ambitions as me and people who tend to have the same goals as me, that's the spaces that I want to be in the most because that's where I can grow. Like spaces where I'm not the smartest in the room. Like if I'm the smartest in the room, then I really don't want to be in that room. I don't need to be in that room.
I can't relate. I don't want to be the best in the room, but I want to be one of the best in the room. And
Yeah,
connect
for sure,
with
though.
the best in the room.
For sure.
And teach. I don't want to call them the worst because everybody has their weaknesses and everybody has their strengths. But creative safe space, it looked like creative safety, like people who ain't gonna tear me down over everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's just.
Oh, well, I would say definitely like when I'm around like my friends, like I use Discord a lot, right? And pretty much whenever I'm like talking to them online, that's like one of the places where I can like express how like my creativity. I simply like come up with ideas for like events that I host in servers, and it's just like one of the spaces that, you know, makes me feel comfortable instead of being like in an in-person setting, right? And it's kind of hard to express your ideas because you can necessarily see the person's face and you can like feel the judgment from them. So
Right. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
all right, I got another question. How have your interactions at school, home, or in the community impact the way you create?
Depending on who's around me, depends on how I perform. You know, if it's my mom, I might perform a little bit better, but I don't practice around my mom at all. Like, I don't know. You know that feeling like when you sing in front of your parents, they be like, woo, yeah! Like, I don't know, like, what's it called? Like, hype, it gets me, like, nervous. Or something.
But how do we gauge that as artists, though, or as creatives? Like, when we share and when we don't share? Because I know I tend to overshare, especially with my mom. I tell her, like, every little idea that I have, like, anything I be sizing, she'll either tell me, she'll be honest, she'll be like, nah, that's trash. Or she'll be like, nah, that's dope, you should do it. Right? So how do we, you know what I'm trying to say.
Gauge.
Gauge, yeah.
It's more like I need to be emotionally free with you. I'm okay with accepting, bro, that is trash, or laugh at it with me. If anything like that. But if I'm comfortable enough with sharing you like my deepest stuff or like even my creative stuff that I'm not even sure of, I just need to be free with you. Because what's the point of talking to someone if you can't really show the whole part of it? I don't want to show increments.
Yeah.
It's a whole piece. It's a whole piece. You don't show like little fractions of a picture.
Oh, that's what you said, increments. You was breaking it up. Then, okay, I see what you're doing with the wordplay.
Thank you for noticing. So outside of the development of the season's podcast with Poor Girls, and you in theater, what have creative resources outlets look like for y'all overall?
They look like trash, bro. Like, we don't got nothing for us.
We really don't. On this side. Let's put
on
emphasis
this side.
On this
It's not
side.
creative on this side either.
Yeah. I feel like there's creativity, but there's no outlets to let that creativity out because we're not going to get creativity out of recreational centers that had nothing but basketball and football.
Wait, hold on. All right, cool. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't know. I was done.
All right, cool. Let's keep it about. Let's keep it about
Table.
50 though. Even in the well-income neighborhoods where Black people live, one, they probably don't even know or care about the creative safe spaces that they have, or those creative safe spaces don't cater to Black kids. Like, it's a lot of white people. Can I say that? There's a lot of white people, and them thinking that they know the culture, that they know Black kids, and they know how we rock and how we do things, which I don't. And we need a place like the ARC everywhere. For us by us. Like, we need the ARC in all wards. Like, why is it just here when we need it everywhere?
Well, I would say we have something like the ARC and all other wards, but better funded.
Ooh.
Hello, get into it. Like, you know, like, and then like when they do have programs, they're not advertised well. You don't really know about the ARC as well as you know about the Kennedy Center. Like, you know, or if you do know about the ARC, it's kind of like, oh, the ARC. But it's like, oh, the Cancer Center. Like, you know.
If you think she's dragging it, check this out. Dr. Natalie Hopkinson of Howard wrote an article on October 29th of 2021 called In the Color of Art, Mapping White Privilege in the Nation's Capital, highlighting the redlining of DCR's funding. Now, Dr. Hopkinson, along with Dr. Suzanne Goodney of UDC, devised a geographical map that show out of the $26 million budget allotted to DC art funding, Ward 7 and 8 ranked the lowest. So looks to me like there's an uneven balance for how creative safety, creativity, creative property for young people, depending on what they look like and where they live.
Like, really, they look down on us and look down on this side, look down on Ward 8, Ward 7, honestly, and that's what needs more funding. You know what I'm saying? Like how the post said on Instagram, on Twitter, it says safe places, safe neighborhoods doesn't have more police, they have more resources. And we need more resources.
Oh, we got snap on that one. Oh, we got snap. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. I like that. So, do you think like our peers have anything to do with this?
Most definitely. Now let's talk about it. There is so much discrimination amongst our peers because let's okay, I'm gonna slow down. Let's get into it. So we have people, kids,
Right.
sometimes households aren't right, and that's okay. That isn't the main issue. But it's the fact that they project what they want onto us and then judge us when we're not what they want to be. Like, sir, ma'am, this is me. Why are you calling me a different breed?
That rhymes.
Why are you calling me a different breed?
No, she
That
did.
was
She
bars.
tried. She did just spit.
Yeah.
something.
I did.
You need to write that down.
Damn, that's me.
I don't have a pen and paper.
Okay.
I'll definitely say when it comes to our peers, it's a lot of judgment. So like whenever like we talk about creative safe spaces where we like try to create like things for where youth they could like, you know, get out. But then there's sometimes our peers when they are handed these opportunities, which are like creative outlets, they're not only just looked down upon by like their parents in this case for these opportunities, but also by them they're like, nah, I don't want to do this crap. It's boring. Like, but it's meant for you to have like a space where you could feel free without judgment from other people. Because that's the reason that everyone else is there. We want to be in an environment where we're not judged by some of the ideas that we want to come up with.
Right. To tap on that point of the boring point, right? Is it boring, or do they think that it's boring, or are they just worried about, oh man, what's Jamal gonna say about this? Hey, and no diss to all the Jamals watching this. That's just the first name I thought of. But what if Jamal sees me do this? Like,
Right.
Standard.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you got that.
Oh no, you got it.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
I was about to bring race into
Catch
it
it.
time. Okay, racially, black kids are supposed to fit a standard. You feel more accepted if you fit into that standard. Yes, like it's promoted in our music, in our culture. If we're not into that, then what are we now? As a black kid, what am I now? Am I a whitewash? Am I Asian wash? Am I just weird? We don't know. We don't know because there's a certain standard, and we need to broaden that standard because black people or black kids are not a monolith.
we snapping to that?
Yes, we're not to that.
Okay, he was asking.
I felt like a preacher for a second.
Did you guys catch that? A monolith. Monolith implies they act as one in accordance to their structure and race. Monolith.
All right. So boom. Let's come to a decision right now. As a group, what do we think that the older folk should do to help us get these creative safe spaces? Like, God, give us money.
So we need
Nah, no
funding. We need help. These kids need help. These kids need guidance. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have that much, and we need a little less judgment, a little more training. Because you can't really judge. I mean, you can't really get trained if you're being judged all the time, because then it kills motivation and it kills self-confidence, and now you're not confident to do anything creative.
You just like no pressure to do what's right.
Well, I think that our peers should broaden their horizon and get to know their creative selves. And if you do play sports, you are not your sport. And if you do, I don't know how to say that, but if you do other things, you are not that other thing that you can do. But guess what you guys are? You guys are the people that just tuned in to the teaser of the Young Gifted and Black podcast. We appreciate y'all for watching. Please stay tuned for what we got in store. Peace.
Peace. This is the ARC Theater's Young Gifted and Black Season 3.
Hey yo! My name is Eric Curry III, and this is the ARC Theater's Young Gifted and Black podcast. Let me do that again.
Okay. Action. My name is Tiny, and this is THEARC's Young, Gifted, and Black Season 3 Through Our Eyes, presented by Poor Girls and Youth. Imagine us.
Love that. Let's do it again.
Hi, my name is Celia, and this is the ARC Theater's Young Gifted and Black podcast, season 3, Through Our Eyes, presented by Poor Girls and Youth. Imagine us. Hey! Yeah!
Hi, I'm Tiny.
And I'm Talia.
And you're tuned into another episode of Young, Gifted, and Black Through Our Eyes.
Today we talk about girls, beauty standards, representation in the industry, in our community.
Today we have a special co-host, Summer. She's a bass player, she's a dancer, just an all-around girl who's going to help us weigh in on this topic today.
Hey, y'all.
I'm with Wartime, he just went and put me on.
Poor Girls and Youth is taking over the Arc Theater's Young, Gifted, and Black podcast with a special series, Through Our Eyes. We're exploring creative safety in the community. The question at hand is, what does a creative safe space look like to you, and how can we provide it? This season, DC youth will weigh in on different topics from this perspective through their lens.
Okay, so first question. What would you say is your ideal creative safe space?
I would say my creative space is wherever I am or my things collect. Like, of course, it's my room, my closet, it's walking yard. Don't worry. So, I feel at home to myself, real creative.
Yeah. Okay. Well, based on your ideal creative safe space, what do you notice about today's traditional environments like school, the community, and even at home that can be better suitable for youth and especially Black girls?
I feel that there should be more places in our community targeted for Black women or just teenagers in general in our age group, so they could get out and like not be in the house. And they can also have places like, because most people, they don't know what they want to do with their creativity and stuff, but they'll be a big help if we had more communities and just basically programs and organizations coming together to create those safe spaces.
Yeah.
That. I don't know why I said that, but like I was about money. We need to get more money, more charities. I was like, how are we going to get that now? It just seems like a lot. But I'm like, why not? For the youth!
For the youth.
Okay, so how have negative interactions in these so-called creative safe spaces impacted the way you view yourself or your talents and creative capabilities? How did you overcome it? And if you haven't, how does it make you feel?
Personally, I'm going to take this to school because that's where everybody spend most of their time at. Well, besides the pandemic. But that's what we spend most of our time at. And I feel that if we're spending our time there, we should be able to be creative in those spaces. Like now, most schools, the only creative programs that they have now are basically like art, music, but it's the basic art and
classes.
Yeah, right. Unless you go to like performing arts school where they on y'all about that. Like, they love when y'all be creative. Speaking.
Yeah, I mean, to add on to that, it's a creative art school that I attend. It's a really good school. It has a great reputation. But as far as creativity and creative freedom, I feel like it don't really have any for the younger like grades. For the older grades though, like you get a dance solo, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you get more.
You get more creativity and creative expression, and I think it's kind of like set up like, oh, they give you training and then okay, now you can do your own thing. But I think you should see what they have already. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to, fix it up.
Right now, yeah. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, be individual. So, why do y'all think there's so much pressure put on Black girls and women, especially in the entertainment and fine arts industry?
I feel basically because it was standards already put in place that they want us to fit into them instead of like we want to like shake it up a little bit, recreate it. Like we don't want to just be all stiff, haha, giggle. Like no, we want to like be free with it, but not like I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
kind of like put our own stank on it, but they don't like our own stank on it.
They like it clean.
And also, I feel like they don't want us to outdo them,
Right.
because we're already outdoing them in a lot of other aspects.
But okay, I wanted to get into how the origins of the black woman, the stereotypes. We did not have our own femininity. Let's get that straight. So then they hypersexualized us.
Yeah.
So then we took that as our own femininity, right? And the fact that we're in rap is already a male-dominated realm. R&B, that's kind of dead. It's not all the way dead, but it's just not the same as what it used to be. So now,
it died down a lot.
yeah, like
It's not the same.
I'm talking about my baby. I'm talking about my girl. We're not doing that. We're talking about getting stopped, and that's okay. But where's the sentimental value? Where is it? And now,
Who can want to see these songs that they went?
exactly.
What are we doing?
With the little remix? No, you need the song. But now it's just like we took it and we're trying to reinvent it, but at the same time, I feel like it could be hurting us because although we're warping it, we should just create something new of our own and then put it out there instead of trying to compete with other people. Because competing is hard, and especially as a black woman, a black girl itself trying to grow and establish who you are. We're all doing the same things already. Not the same things, but it's getting repetitive in certain ways. It's very like
we all talking about the same things, looking the same way. How they gonna tell us apart?
Exactly.
Like how they, like new standards are not being brought out. It's just the same thing.
And
you do this, that's it.
No, for real. And I really appreciate girls like Willow Smith coming out here and like really showing that we're not a monolith. Like we're different, you know. It's not all about making it like you know, like I like rock music because like my dad used to listen to rock music when I was little. I liked it. I didn't know what it was. Kind of hypnotized by society. This is weird, but I also wanted to be weird. I was going through a weird time, but like you know, middle school K-pop came around. I loved that, but then I kind of fell back into the rock situation, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, my dad passed away and I really find comfort in rock music, you know, and I would really like kind of tell like when he's giving me a sign because one of the songs that he always listened to was Linkin Park in the end, and yeah.
So, do y'all think capitalism plays a role in the way the community and these industries choose to receive and project certain beauty standards or Western ideals onto us?
Yes.
Long short answer, yes. Long answer. Give
me the long
theory.
Well, here's the long version in 15 seconds. Political theory is the study of political ideas and values like justice, power, and democracy that we use to describe, understand, and assess political practices and institutions. One being the effects of
capitalism, which is often thought of as an economical system in which private actors own and control property in accord with their interests. The essential feature of capitalism is the motive to make a profit.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. In many ways, those who are deemed as less than tend to compete with ideals adjacent to standards apart from different components of racial identity and the assumptions that follow it.
So is racism the root of capitalism, or is it the other way around?
Isn't that crazy?
It very much is.
Everything is about race. People are like, and you don't have to make everything about everything. It's literally about race because everything comes from racism. Capitalism is definitely one of those things. And
also, like what you were saying, like with racism, it also ties into like stereotypes and stuff. Because like that's what you're with the music and stuff. They would say, don't get me wrong, but they would say Megan Thee Stallion ghetto, not good for our children, none of that. But these will also be the same parents that are letting their children listen to. Don't bash her nothing, but Britney Spears.
Why would she go crazy?
No, her music, don't get me wrong, is great, but some of her songs also had the exact same message.
Yeah.
So why didn't they see her as ghetto or not good for their kids? She's one.
Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. If the white girl was not saying it, I'm pretty sure if we looked at.
I just want to throw this in one like real quick, like because when they came out with WAP. Everybody was in an uproar. But when Ariana came out with 3435,
they was like, oh yes, this is
oh my god, Baker, oh my god, 3435. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
I want to say, I feel as if capitalism is low-key the backbone of black culture. Yes, all we talk about is monetary stuff. Why are we not happy with ourselves? Yeah, you're right. Actually, you are very right because race. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's just so sad to think about. But I will get on the race. We as Black people have not had that much. We started out as slaves, down bad.
We didn't start out as slaves.
Well, in America,
we started
out as slaves, down bad, stripped from our culture, all that, right? So now, our dream, of course, is to just have so much, be abundant. But then a part of me also thinks, as the Black community, are we greedy in a way? Or do we need to find something in ourselves?
We can't get greedy, though.
But we've been told, like, things like having the most expensive cars, having the biggest rings, watches, all that, that's what we need to have. But that's not what we need to have. That's what we've been told that we need to have.
Exactly. And it's sad.
It's not us.
I feel like we just lose ourselves in the grind culture because that's what they want us to do. They just want us to work.
Somebody's getting warmer. In 2017 alone, Black women captured 86% of the ethnic beauty market, spending $54 million of the $63 million spent.
Nails, makeup, boom, boom, boom. What do we have to do? We have to pay for it. We have to pay for everything to keep our appearance up to fit in because
hyper femininize ourselves. I don't know the word. I'm not a vocabulary.
We have to do all this so we just don't look as the average Black woman because the average Black woman is looked down upon.
Yeah.
I can't just walk out with my natural hair and so no makeup, so sweatpants. I'm gonna be looked at as ghetto. I have to really do stuff, have a coordinated outfit just to walk out and be like, okay, I'm good with myself.
We can't be ourselves as women. We can't be happy truly. I really feel like
if we just stop looking for validation amongst everybody else, because I've noticed that once we're cool with ourselves, we be like, dang, what's she doing? What's she on? So instead of just catering to the trends, we really need to figure out who we are, or at least grow with who we are throughout time.
And I agree, 100%, 1000%. When it comes down to how we interact with our community, let me tell y'all. I went to audition, and it was this girl with braids in her hair. And in the audition, like, instructions, it doesn't say if you can't have braids. I mean, some people would know, some people wouldn't know. Again, because we need more resources and programs in our community. But she's from Georgetown. You know, it was kind of like, oh, but you're from Georgetown. I didn't come there with braids in my hair for the audition, but her braids were in a bun, you know. And one of the teachers asked, oh, are you from Southeast?
Dang!
And she was like, no, I'm from Georgetown. And it's kind of like, okay, now, and I hate the representation that Southeast has, because bad Southeast all you want to, but a lot of great things come from the ghetto, the Southeast, from fashion to anything. It comes from
comedy.
Yeah.
Slang.
Yeah, it comes from the ghetto. I can only be mad at the Western world when you go to other places. Like, for instance, Korea, a lot of, you know, old Asian people are scared of Black people. Why? Because of what they see in the movies.
Yeah.
We're represented as thugs.
On the international
criminal,
level.
on an international level, yeah. Like, it's some good things and some bad things because you see us as hip. You know, oh, a good rapper. Like, you ask anybody in Korea and they be like, I love Black people. Like, why do you like Black people? Oh, because they can dance, they can sing, they have a lot of energy, their bodies are nice. Like, you know, it's just kind of like, there's some good aspects, but at the same time, it's like, okay, your mom and your pops still scared of me, you know? Because they think I'm going to rob them. You know, we see that. It don't even have to go overseas. We see that here in our neighborhood. Go to the corner store, go to the beauty supply store. They're following you around. Yeah, but stereotypes. I think that kind of blends into beauty standards, you know what I'm saying? The Jezebel, we're not hypersexual.
We just hypersexualized.
Hypersexualization, or the sexualization of a public space, involves the attribution by the media and society or behavior that has nothing intrinsically sexual about it.
You know, this reminds me of the Let Girls Be Girls campaign aimed to curb the premature sexualization of young people. Accounting for creative safety, it is important that we factor in those policies, rules, and bylaws that we tend to live by and hold young Black people, and especially Black girls, up against in our expectations of what we deem as subjectively appropriate and beneficial.
Oh my goodness, I was waiting for this topic to come out. Yes. I'm gonna take it back to when we were talking about school. Not even school, home, outside, stores, work, jobs, community overall. What I'm wearing, I would say, is generally
It's
appropriate
okay for a teenage girl.
If I walked into school with this, I'll be sent home the second I step my platform van through the door. Why? One, because just in general, if I was a white 16-year-old teenage girl, real slim, this outfit would be, oh, you look really nice today. Go ahead, go get to class. But no, I'm curvy. I'm of color. I look good in this. I gotta go home and change and wear some big old baggy pants and a button-up shirt just to fit your standards.
To hide whatever you naturally have.
Right, I'm not gonna hide it.
For the sexualization of a boy. It's just very awkward. Like, hello, there are two people tangling here. Please get your men. It's just not giving anymore. Why do I have to cover up my self-expression, if anything? Because he can't, like,
control himself.
Exactly. And it's not even all that most of the time. So it's like, what are you gonna? It is a place of business. It's education, but at the same time, I'm a child. You shouldn't even be sexualizing my body.
Yeah.
Especially teachers, if that's what it's also for. Like, man.
Or we should be so comfortable in the space that we're trying to learn.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about y'all, but I really find it weird when a staff member, tries to dress code a girl. Like, I really think that's not your place, and that's not your business, because now I'm looking at you weird, because now it's like, okay, so now you are sexualizing me.
Like, at first when I left the house, I thought the shit was okay, but you saying it's revealing too much. What exactly do you feel like it's revealing?
Yeah, at school, this girl, she had on, it's a basic little top joint, like spaghetti strap, like with the little adjustable joint on there. And she didn't have a jacket on. And, you know, she was comfortable until a administrator said something to her. And then she started to do like this. You can see she didn't feel comfortable at all.
We just need to, I want to say, stand our ground. Because, first off, school, we about to go back to school. Or we already in school. Whoever. But I got an email with this dress code. It's like a good 2 pages long. Says absolutely nothing about guys except where they can't wear their hoodie in class. Everything else is directed towards girls. No skirts that are above the knee, that has slits, that show any type of other color other than black or gray or white. Then shirts. The only shirt I'm allowed to wear is a t-shirt. But it can't even have any type of words on it that will feel offensive to other people. And then I could only wear other button-up shirts. But they say we don't have to wear a uniform. But basically, we're wearing a uniform because we can't wear anything else.
Right. Okay, so taking into consideration a boundless, creative, safe space, free of forced Western standards, colorism, body shaming, ageism, adultism, tough love, how can we and others in our community combat those pressures?
I would say, first of all, we should just scratch it off the board. If we feel comfortable with what we doing, like what we feel like, oh yeah, that song get hit. It don't gotta be talking about guns, money, having endless shorties in the back. No.
Please listen to this.
No. We could be cool just talking about chilling with our friends, having a good time.
And that's the thing about being black. It's kind of like everybody wants to be perfect for the Western world. But we don't have to be perfect. We can be ourselves. So if you want to twerk, it's okay. If you want to talk about shoot 'em up, bang bang, it's okay to an extent.
Yeah. It's also because of people that we have representing us,
yes,
making it come off in a way that is perceived as negative. But if I wouldn't say if they change it, but if they just present it in a different way to make it suitable. Now, I want to say suitable because they make their music wherever they want to make their music for.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without making it a negative connotation. But just basically, the right representation will just make us all feel better about ourselves. So we won't just have to be like, oh, this is what we got to rap about, this is what we got to sing about, this is what we got to look like, this is what we got to do to feel comfortable with ourselves. We just got to know how to present it.
Yeah.
And we need more versatility in the rap realm. This is getting too common. I can predict your lyrics before you say something. That's a problem. That's definitely a problem.
Especially if it rhymes.
Exactly. And it's more to our culture to just shoot 'em up, bang, bang. It just feels like that's all we're known for now. And I think because we tried to turn it around and be like, yeah, we're going to own this. But now it's just like, is this all we are?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I guess that sums up today. Tea party. Cheers. Click. Okay, that sums up today's episode. Remember, you are black, you are beautiful, you are enough.
Love yourself, baby girl.
And see you next episode of Young, Gifted, and Black.
Bye.
Oh, that's me. I'm good.
I'm not
No, it is quiet on the set. It is quiet on the set. Y'all right. That's my bad.
Because my dad loved rock music, and I knew he was going to fall off.
Hey y'all, I'm Summer and you're tuned into the ARC.
Start over.
Hey y'all, my name is Summer and you're tuned into the ARC Theater's Young Gifted and Black Season 3 Through Our Eyes, presented by the Poor Girls in Youth. Imagine us.
Yeah. We good. We got it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl D from Poor Girls, and I'm stopping by before the release of episode 2, if not you then who, to invite you to our next Youth Let Out pop-up, Saturday, May 14th, at the Art Theater outside in the living classroom. That's right, we're going to be having a graffiti garden, silent disco, Gen Z exclusive. This event is Creative Safe Space certified, meaning free admission, good vibes, free food, live DJ, and a hands-on graffiti activation. So go ahead and RSVP to the number on the screen, and we hope to see you there. Episode 2 coming right up. Stay tuned.
The views and opinions expressed in this program on this page are those of the speakers and artists and do not reflect or represent the views or opinions held by this page or channel's broadcaster.
People ain't out here talking about black on black crime when that should be worth our time. We out here being disrespected by the white man. Oh my. I see how it is, and that's on my mind. Trying to face the ways of the world, it's all types of crime. People getting killed before their time, seeing mothers crying because their kids is dying. I don't know if y'all see it, but it ain't just us. It's all races dying, not just us. We out here fighting as one, which ain't wrong. But how about we stand together and all fight the wrong?
Poor Girls and Youth is taking over the Art Theater's Young Gifted and Black podcast with a special series, Through Our Eyes.
We're exploring creative safety in the community.
The question at hand is, what does a creative safe space look like to you, and how can we provide it?
This season, DC youth will weigh in on different topics from this perspective through their lens.
Hey guys, I'm Python.
Hey yo, I'm Eric Curry III, and you are tuned in to Young, Gifted, and Black Through Our Eyes.
And today we are joined with the wonderful youth advocate, creative writer, and a young black business owner, Official China Doll here today.
Everybody.
Ooh, and since this whole season is about reimagining a creative safe space for us all through our eyes, the youth, Gen Z, etc., this is what this whole episode is about. If not you, then who? Who else will decide these creative safe spaces and what you want to create and what you want to do? So with that being said, China, what is a creative safe space to you?
A creative safe space to me is probably just being in the comfort of my room and being able to create without people being in my space, like irritating me or bothering me.
So it's more of like an independence, you feel? Alright, gotcha. So how do you navigate like a creative safe space in your own community? Do you like look for them or do you like create your own?
I definitely create my own because coming from where I live, which is Ward 7, it can be hard to find somebody who offers a creative safe space for you.
Do you know anybody in Ward 7 that does offer those creative safe spaces?
It's a couple of organizations, yes.
Can you remember? Do you mind naming at least one of those organizations?
Let me see, like, I think Father Factor Inc. definitely, and also Forever True DC.
Okay, dope. And also, a lot of folks may not know this side, but along with helping out with your community, you do own your own custom jewelry, Divine Designs by Diane. Tell us about what prompted you to jump out there and just do your own business.
So I'm really just like a creative person. I like to make my own stuff. I want to be different. I want people to look different. Like most of my stuff is custom jewelry. And I know a lot of people don't want to look the same as everybody else because people be out here looking the same as everybody else. You want to be different. So I just felt like I should apply my creativity to everybody else's lives.
So don't forget, go follow Divine Designs by Diane on Instagram. But so as far as making your own creative safe spaces go, what would you say motivates you to like stay active in your community, take initiative, and continue to express yourself?
What motivates me to just stay active in my community and express myself is that a lot of people my age aren't able to do that. And I know that I can be the voice for others and myself. So I just continue to do me and make sure everybody's voice is heard.
Does that scare you?
No, definitely not.
Why not?
I'm a very opinionated person. So either way, your opinion, my opinion, I'll fight for anything pretty much. Like you come to me and say, these pair of shoes, controversial, blah, blah, blah. I don't care what it is. I'm going to say something about it because everybody's opinion matters in pretty much anything.
Thank you for leading me right into my next question. China, you recently won a contest for the Arts Against Violence competition created by Father Factor Inc., which you just shouted out, a community organization in Ward 8 that focuses on youth development, violence prevention, parenting, and substance abuse. In the poem, you address your intercommunal violence and the effects on everyone in your city. Can you tell us why is that important to you, and why did you express your feelings in such a controversial topic?
So it all started off with me just posting like on my Instagram story, give me some topics to write like poetry about. But also when my friend has just like, oh yeah, write it on how like people that's black getting killed. And it's like, it came from the heart because like recently, 2 years ago, my brother had passed away from a specific type of like act of violence. And like, so when I wrote the poem, it like kind of came from the heart because I've been through something that was relating to stuff that goes on in the city a lot often.
Yeah, because especially like with the kid that went to KCP, it was like definitely like a hit home where it's like we still have a lot of violence going on in DC, and it's like it was very much a shame for you to drop your son off at school than just like them not being able to come home that same day. We thought they were like going to be in a safe space. So for you, would you say it would be easy? Was it easier for you to write the point of view in like a poem? Or would you like express, is it better to express in a conversation?
Well, either way, I think that it would have been very easy for me because, as I said earlier, I'm very opinionated on things. Like, if I'm very passionate about the conversation that I'm having, I can definitely speak on it through poetry, creative writing, whatever it is.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you're so opinionated because I want your opinion on this. There's a theory called the looking glass, self-created by Charles Cooley, that says we are not who we think we are. We are not who others think we are. We are what we think others think we are. That's a tongue twister. Ooh, nice. Y'all understand that though, right? Y'all get it? Okay. Based on our peers, do either of you think that's true? There's a question for both of you.
Yeah, to an extent. Like a certain extent, yeah.
Why?
So, like, it's like, I don't know, like, kind of, you know, how you would look at somebody and they'll look at you like you looking at somebody like I'm looking at an eye right now, or Python. And she might be looking at me and she might be like, yeah, China's weird. And I might be thinking that she thinking I'm weird. So like, I'm like, oh, I'm weird. Or like, she thinks I'm weird. So I automatically be like walking around like, yeah, everybody thinks I'm weird because she looked at me this way. So I understand that specific thing.
Your point of view, your style, how you interact with others, how you wear your hair, how you talk, where you live, are all examples of what makes you you. The looking glass theory challenges whether or not you accept the person you see in the mirror or the person you think those in your space want you to be. It's through your lens. It's something we all should think about.
I don't know how to really like differentiate.
That's why I don't look at people at school. It just goes downhill. As soon as I look at you, I'll be like, what you looking at? They might be just like what I got on, and I'll be like, nah, bro, you're weird.
So like, I'm a gamer on Twitch. Gaming with Fi, you know.
Ooh, shameless plug. I like
yes.
that.
So you got a shameless plug when it's necessary. It's more virtual, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about like what is the difference necessarily when you talk about virtual but then being in the actual like space, like in reality.
I'll let you answer that first.
So, like, coming from somebody that's an older sister and I got a younger brother, majority of the time, I see that it's hard for him to differentiate, like, the difference between being on the game and real life. Like, sometimes, like, he'll be on the game so long, he doesn't know how to respond in real life. He thinks it's just, like, and, like, some things is just, like, you're not in the game. You're not in GTA. That's not how life works. So, that's kind of how I feel about it.
I think that, but even in a real life aspect, right? Like just getting off of virtual learning, like I do my podcast virtual, our Spot podcast. We didn't write that in, but yeah, but I do that virtual. So even being in a virtual setting all the time in real life, there's still a sense of like, this isn't real life, right? Being out with people, having like, I've developed a terrible social anxiety issue just from being in the house all year by myself. Like it got to a point where I couldn't go outside and just like talk to the person working over the counter. Like they'd be like, "Oh, you want a bag today?" Like that's how bad it got. So I feel like even in reality and doing virtual stuff, it's kind of hard.
Like, I definitely have to agree, because, like, coming from someone that uses, like, Discord, it's an online social platform where you can, like, talk to a bunch of different people across the world. I have a lot of friends on there, and I play video games with them, and it's, like, you see, like, more two personalities from me. Like, you have your Python personality, which I'm hearing as, and that Python is, like, a little bit more friendly, definitely loves playing video games. You have, like, Anaya, in this case, is a little bit more shy, doesn't really, like, talk that much to people, and it's definitely kind of weird when you have to, like, I view it as it's more easier for me to like appear as Python, because that's like what I want to be, but like in person it's kind of weird to be that Python because you don't know what other people were thinking. Like back to the question you just asked about how people's like perception of us is, and that's what we think we are. Yeah, that goes hand in hand.
Like, all right, so now this brings me to originality. So with you all's creative and different styles and unique views, how do you think that compares to the rest of our generation?
I'll answer. All right. So
y'all got real quiet for a second. I started getting scared.
Because it's like we know about trends and everything,
yeah.
Right? Especially like TikTok, Twitter, especially Instagram trends. Some of them are just a little not giving, right? So you'll definitely see like a lot of repetitive like fashion designs out there, and it's very you'll see it sometimes, but it's really less often that you'll see like originality in today's society where everybody wants to be what someone else is just because it looked cool to them. So
sometimes with following a trend, you might find something that you really like, and you be like, "Oh snap! If this wasn't trending, then I would have never even thought about doing this. So this is dope." At the same time, people be like, "Bro, this is trending. I'm gonna do this." Like I was into like Asian streetwear way before people was like really into the Asian streetwear. Like when like just random stuff like Comme des Garçons and like Uniqlo and stuff. Like I was really into that like nerdy Asian streetwear stuff. I was reading this one like Japanese magazine that Kanye recommended. And I was like, yo, like the clothes in this joint is like fire. And that's just how that happens. So when I see people now, I'm like, oh, it's cool that y'all like liking it, but how much do y'all really like this? And I don't want to say that as like a hater, like, oh, I'll put y'all on. Like, nobody know you. Like, nobody know me. But at the same time, it's like, bro, what's really your thing?
Because definitely even when you guys know about like the streetwear definitely found in like predominantly African American cultures, it's kind of weird now. Whereas like I've seen a lot of people on TikTok, now I'm not gonna say who, But I've seen a lot of people on TikTok talking about, can we bring back these type of styles? Because like these styles now popular because they trended. But wasn't it just like almost like a few years ago or even days ago, you were just calling that same thing ghetto. But now just because it's trending.
Or whack.
Like,
or whatever you use for lame or uncool.
Like now it's like something that I want to wear, something I want to participate in. So I definitely feel like going on to my next question. Do you think it's a trend to be unique or follow the crowd?
I love that segue. I'm so proud of you. All right, so it's kind of like the thought of like when T-Pain created Auto-Tune, right? Well, he didn't create Auto-Tune, but when T-Pain made Auto-Tune like popping, right? It's kind of the same thing where like people was like, oh, I'm hating on T-Pain, but a few years later, a lot of people were adopted by T-Pain's style. Like T-Pain birthed a lot of people that we know and love, right? So it's like, okay, y'all followed this trend of, okay, T-Pain does Auto-Tune, cool, but I'm gonna do it my own way. But now y'all have all these other people thinking they're doing it their own way, but really they're doing it your way that you put out, that you really was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do it like that. Now you have other people like all the Lils. I'm gonna sound like T-Pain right now, but do something else. All the Lils, like, bro, you're not unique. Lil Wayne, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, not all y'all Lil. Like, ain't no way all y'all that Lil. So, nah, bro. I think it is a trend, though.
So let's talk about like probably like, am I wording this right? All right, let's say trends, right? Trends, they typically like sometimes turn into stereotypes, right? And in our own community, how do you think we could like combat that? Because when it comes to like projected stereotypes at school or in just a day-to-day basis, how do you think we can combat things like this?
I would say everything gonna be controversial. So sometimes you can try, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be that one person. You doing this and I don't like it, you doing this, and this is my type style, this is my people style, this is what we do. So either way, it's like, your opinion is your opinion. I'm gonna respect that, but I know what I know and you know what you know. We just gonna have to do what we gotta do. Like,
I don't think you should try to combat that. I think you should just keep doing you. I mean, if somebody hating on you, you must be doing something right. Because you must be either doing whatever you're doing, cool as a mug, or you flying whatever you wearing. Like, you have to be doing something right for somebody being like, bro, I don't like what you're doing. Like, so I don't think there's no reason to combat that, giving that person your time, your energy, of being like, no, what I'm doing is cool. Da, 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 da. Like, you know. So why would anybody else really should care? And like, it's just like, it's a big disconnect, because then that's when we get into creativity. That's when the creativity and things start getting lost. And the dictionary definition of creativity is the use of imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. Fashion is art in this sense, right? What are some ways that we can support one another in building or maintaining originality, individuality, and self-awareness?
I would definitely say it's something that even for people watching, it's something to always keep in mind, is that you are unique to yourself. So pretty much just as I said before, you may see one person do something else, you can make what they did your own. There are many ways you can make it to your own thing, like put your own little twist on it. Like me, I wear emo stuff a lot. I take a bunch of things that I have in my closet that's black and I put it on together. I make it look like, you know, a little bomb out, a little lip outfit, right? And it's like, you just got to make everything unique to yourself. You don't have to copy directly what they did just so they can have something unique to them. You just want to make sure that it's your own.
Right.
well, I basically agree with Anaya with that, because you're you. You gotta continue to be you, because if you're trying to be somebody else, honestly, you're not gonna do it right. So when you being yourself, it's like, okay, I'm gonna use this for example. The other day, somebody called me a Bama because of the stuff that I like, right? Like, I'm tall, I wear platforms. to me, yeah, that's kind of weird because like you tall already. Like, why are you wearing platforms? But like platforms, just I don't know. I like platforms better, so I'm gonna wear platforms. Like, how you gonna tell me to change my style for you? That don't even add up. Like, that's me. You can go change your style. I understand. Okay, I'm a bammer through your eyes, but to me, I'm popping. Like, I'm me. I'm doing what I want to do. You're not gonna change that.
You know what this all boils down to me? Minding your own business. I feel like that's what this really boils down to. Watchers at home, mind your own business. If it's not yours, don't try to come at somebody else because it's theirs. It's not yours. Leave it alone. Mind your own business. I feel like the world will be a better place if people just mind their own business. Oh, can we tell what that episode is? Mind your own business. I feel like the world would be a way better place if we just did that.
All right, China, let's get into our final question of today. So what would you say to someone who's not as confident about being themselves in certain spaces, but wants to make their own creative safe space?
So when you're not comfortable about being yourself, I would say you gotta learn how to adjust to being yourself. Like, it took me a long time to put myself out there and just like jump into a den with tigers and lions and all that stuff, because I used to be like that. I'd be shy, sit to the side, let everybody else do what they gotta do and be like, yeah, I agree. But now it's like, if you're not speaking up for yourself, if you're not doing this, if you're not making your own creative safe space, who's gonna do it for you? Because nobody not gonna take time out of their day nowadays to be like, all right, I'm gonna help you, because people got their own stuff to do.
I definitely agree with that, because it's like you gotta do what you gotta do at this point, because ain't nobody gonna do it. Who gonna do it?
If not you, then who? Jesus Christ! See how that joke came back
I
full
know,
circle?
right?
Hey, we got good at this.
All right, well, that's the end of our podcast, everyone. Thank you. We have been joined today by the wonderful official China Doll. Make sure to follow her on Instagram with her business, Divine Designs by Diane. I am Python.
I'm Eric Curry III.
And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hey everybody, my name is Official China Doll. This is the Art Theater's Young, Gifted, and Black, Season 3, Through Our Eyes. Cut. Hey everybody, my name is Official China Doll. This is the Art Theater's Young, Gifted, and Black, Season 3, Through Our Eyes. Presented by Poor Girls and Youth. Imagine us. Love that.
So I'm like, Aries, like 7 or 8 and like